My trust is like armor. Once it's pierced, you're dead to me. Libra, one more time. My trust is like armor. Once it's pierced, you're dead to me. Libra, I feel that you've been in your head a lot. I feel like you keep also, with these other people, I think they also been in their head. But I feel like the reason why you so in your head and so like you don't feel right about certain situations, like you just don't feel good. You don't feel valuable. You don't feel strong enough to take what a lot of these people is dishing out because they chose you for a reason. Okay? You almost feel like, now that you're looking at the situation, you're like, they really never deserved me or my energy in the first place. Like, what did I even see in them? It's that type of vibe. What did I even really see in them? What was it about them that like rang true for me, that made me feel good about them? Because like now that I'm thinking about it, you're not even thinking back on it because I feel like it's so new for you. And even if you are thinking about a past relationship or something like that, it's like these thoughts that are coming in are all brand new. There's something that's like for you, you've tried to ignore it. You tried to ignore it. You tried to shove it away. You tried to put it in a closet somewhere and lock that shit up. It just, now you're hitting a point to where like you can't help but to think about the past because where you are now and how you feel now. The fact that you allowed a stranger into your energy to have such a large effect on your life. A stranger, like a person who you thought you knew, who you really didn't know. Like you was close to them, yeah. You might have been in the physical, you were in physical proximity to them, but they was a stranger to you, okay? You didn't know them, and I think that was a part of the appeal. You didn't know them, they didn't know you, okay? And this could even be friends. This could be family members that you're rekindling with after a very, very long period of time. But this is why it's so impertinent, Libra, that you are able to look past the surface level bullshit that people be spitting out of their mouth. They never knew you, and you never knew them. That's key to the situation, okay? It doesn't matter how long y'all were together or how long y'all choose to stick together. Their behaviors is something that's completely unfamiliar to the person you thought they were. And now that you're coming back down to earth, now that you're rooting yourself back down again, now that you're trying to heal, now that you're looking at the situation from the outside and finally able to recognize this, you feel hurt. You feel broken. You feel all sorts of fucked up. Your trust is all sorts of fucked up. Your mind is all sorts of fucked up. And you don't feel right in your own skin even. You're like, who am I? Because who was I to get into a situation where clearly I was never going to be happy with them? Clearly I did not know them the way that I should have known them. Clearly it's like all these things you thought and are thinking right now that should be clear to you were not clear to you. And that's because you felt pleased by this decision of this person choosing you. You felt pleased about it. There was something about them where you felt like pleased about the fact that this person like chose to involve themselves with you instead of recoil. Maybe there's a lot of different things like rumors or people talking about you, or maybe even like your own family doesn't even fuck with you like that. Like, they talked a lot of shit. They said a lot of things that they don't necessarily know about you. And maybe you don't necessarily live in a place or a space to where you have anyone you can trust. And so when you choose to trust this person, or this situation, you felt like you had full control and power over it because you've never done that before. You've never had anyone allow you that type of freedom before, where you felt like they truly did see you and love you and appreciate you. But what they saw and heard was your trauma, your past, your experience, and they manipulated that and used that against you. They heard you grieving. They knew you were hurting. They felt you were hurting before y'all even got into it like that. Before y'all even had those conversations, they knew you were hurting. They knew the decisions that were being made by you. They knew that you were choosing to be alone because you felt like nobody wanted you. They knew the right things to say because of all the behaviors you exhibited, just very surface level. On like it was written on your sleeves. You're like, how could I be so dumb or blind? You're not dumb. And you're certainly not fucking blind. You're not dumb. You're not blind. You were vulnerable. And that is not your fault. Okay? That is not, it's not your fault that someone came in, swooped in, and wanted to take advantage of that. It's just not, it's simply not your fault. You are not the wrong one in this situation. Okay? You are not the wrong one for sitting in a situation you truly thought someone, you know, could really care about you. That someone could really, truly connect with you on that level. That's not your fucking fault. Everything that you were feeling before, everything that you were hurting by, you were seeking out comfort. And that's a normal human behavior. And when you have no one there to support you and comfort you, oftentimes we look in darker places. Sometimes we could look in super dark places without even realizing that shit. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to heal, you're trying to help yourself, but then you feel like you can't. You feel the pain and you want to let go of the pain. You want the pain to go away. You just want to rectify the situation as fast as possible and keep going and keep on moving, keep on popping through. And I feel like you've done this a lot. You know, you've done this for a lot of things in your life. And now you've come to a state of mind where you're starting to realize how much effect that has had on your choices in partners, in romantic partners. Okay? Like, we got a sacrament right here, which is the strength card. Is like, I've always been a super, super intimidating person to other people. You know, I want to be kinder. I want to be nicer. I want to embrace this side of myself that is sensitive and vulnerable. But to do it in a way that makes sense means you're not going to follow you're not going to follow the person who's pleasing you the most. And I mean that. You're not going to follow the individual who's trying to people please you and get you to a stage of loving or liking them because they're sitting there and pleasing you. They're telling you all the things you never heard before in your life. The things that you should have been telling yourself. Truth be told, you should have been saying these things to yourself. It should not have needed to come from another person. You should have already known these things about yourself, in fact. And if you look a little bit closer at this person's behavior, you'll see that, like, they always redirected it towards you. They always made you out to be the problem or the issue, or like you were the broken one and they were the healed one. They always made it out to be that way, though that was never the situation. Y'all both needed healing, a different type of healing. You needed someone you can count on and someone you can trust and someone you could love. You know, they needed a victim. That's how they felt. And in reality, they needed to stay away from you and stay away from really anyone, any woman, any man. Instead of getting with anyone, they should have been working on themselves. Y'all needed two different things. And yet somehow managed to meet the middle because they lied to you. They lied to you. Like, how do I make up trust after that situation? It's like, you can't make up trust. You have to build it. You can't fully trust anyone again because you have to build it. They have to do the work and you have to receive the work. Okay? You have to accept the fact that someone truly wants to be by your side, truly wants to put in effort, and you have to see that effort. Okay? That action. Okay? Because sometimes people will feel like after they get hurt or after something happens like this, they will never be able to fully trust anyone again. And then they get in the zone of like, I can never, ever be enough for you because like you will just keep rejecting me and keep hurting me. It's like a person who is really trying to gain your trust and really trying to love you, even if you sit there and reject them 20 million times when it comes to the emotional shit, when it comes to your boundaries, they will respect your boundaries. First of all, they won't force you or push you into anything, but then they will also be your listening ear. They will sit there through those situations where you feel untrustworthy, where you feel like they're untrustworthy, where you feel like they're going to hurt you. They will sit there and be patient with you. They won't force you into a fucking relationship when they know you're not ready. They will sit there and be patient with you. They will have those conversations of like, you know, how do you feel? How are you feeling about me, about our situation? How are you feeling in general? You know, where are you? Do you feel that you're at in your life? Like, how are you feeling? You know what I mean? How are you? Who are you really? You know what I mean? I think that's where you should be giving someone their props. And if they can't give you that, right, they can't give you patience, then they don't deserve to be there. Okay? Because it takes work to trust somebody. It takes work. And tons of fucking boundaries. And tons of conversations and different lines of communication. It takes time. Okay? Libra, you're the type of person to give a shirt off your back to a person you feel deserves it. But who really fucking deserves that shit, right? Without doing anything at all. Just by sitting there, looking dopey or sad or fucked up in the game, or they got a really bad life. Why are you choosing who deserves that when in reality it's like you're willing to do it all for them when they have done nothing for you? And you're like, well, I don't want anything in return. But at the end of the day, bitch, that's a whole dream. Okay? That bitch, you dreaming. If you think you don't deserve something in return, you're fucking dreaming. And if you think a person who doesn't give you that same respect in return deserves to be there with you by your side 24/7, 369, you're fucking dreaming. I mean, man. When I say you're dreaming, you're fucking dreaming. That's a fever dream, baby. That's not something that's realistic. Libra, that is not realistic. You don't deserve to be punished or left in the dark or hurt or abused or neglected or cheated on or mistreated, misguided because you choose to trust the wrong person. But you also don't deserve to sit there in a connection where you know you're pulling all of your weight and this person is pulling none. You're just sitting there as their listening ear and that's it. You think you know them because you've heard their stories. But the reality of it is that if they truly wanted you to know, they would get close to you too. They would ask questions about you too. They would communicate with you too. They would give you that say. It will be fully reciprocated. Y'all would love each other. Y'all would get close and connect with each other. That's how it is. That's how a relationship should be, right? Y'all should want to improve the relationship together. It should never be one person pushing that shit forward and asking for a commitment and the other person like, well, you know what I mean, I don't think I'm ready. If they're not ready, they're not ready. Believe that when they say that. And if they play you like they are ready and then back out last minute, that's for a sure fuck sign to get the fuck away from them. Okay? No, because they saw you shining. They saw you glowing. They saw you doing better for yourself. They saw that. And they took advantage of that. They saw that you were doing better than they ever could. Truthfully, truth be told. And they took advantage of that. They sold you a fucking dream. They sold you a fucking dream. I picked up on, there was this vibe of like oppression. Or maybe it's more like a suppression, right? You suppress yourself so you don't become rejected. You suppress yourself so you don't feel oppressed and then feel rejected. You know what I mean? So nobody can reject your feelings or tell you that you're crazy or tell you that you're too emotional or tell you that you're too much. You, instead of vocalizing how you really feel and your insecurities, how you feel about a person, like, you know, possibly stepping on you or shunning you or walking away from you when you're talking and treating you this way, treating you that way, instead of saying how you feel, like, I feel hurt when you do that or I feel bad when you do that, you rather suppress that so somebody doesn't step forward and abuse you and neglect you. So they don't sit there and oppress you and tell you that you're crazy, tell you that you're nothing, tell you that you're worthless. You don't want to hear those words again. So you choose not to speak on how you really feel. You choose to suppress it and keep it down and keep it hidden. When that's not the right way of going about it at all. The moment that you feel something is wrong, you say that shit. You vocalize that shit proudly too. Like, I know something's wrong. I can feel it. I can feel it. I feel how you're withdrawing from me. I feel how you are acting towards me. I know you're being petty. I feel that you're being petty. I feel it. I could feel it in your actions. You switched up wholly and entirely. I feel that. I feel how you switched up. You know? Now prove to me that you haven't. That or get the fucking move on, right? Get the fuck on. Leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone. You're trash, right? You're trash for trying to use me and hurt me and abuse me or treat me this way, treat me that way. You're trash. You trash. You know? I picked up on like One Final Chance. I picked up on Gemini. I picked up on like multiple personalities or multiple... I feel like there's also like something to do with like educating people on how to go about things the right way. And like I feel like now that you have this idea in your head of like, oh, like I really need to step my game up. I really need to start being aware of the people that I'm like starting to bring into my life and trusting. I need to start like really like microscoping. Like I feel like you have to drill these people under a microscope, do the background checks and do all this crazy shit. It's like, that's even excessive, Libra. That's excessive. Okay? It's really as simple as communication. The moment that you feel someone is being disingenuous with you, I want you to receive that as them being disingenuous with you. Trusting that intuition, trusting that gut. Okay? And you don't always have to seek out the truth in it. You don't always have to wait around for the truth. You can ask those questions. And if they choose to be disingenuous with you again or choose to reject you and be like, you're a crazy bitch, that's guilt. That's a sign of guilt. That's an admission. They can't take shit calmly. They can't take a calm conversation with you. You know, they got to escalate things real fucking quick and sit there and berate you or hurt you in some type of way. It's because they're guilty. It's because they're guilty. Okay? It's because they're guilty. It really is. And you should leave guilty people alone. You should leave people alone that are always the victim of a situation or always have to berate others to make them feel lowly and worthless. You should leave those situations alone as they are, you know, as they were completely and utterly alone, and they'll end up like that in the end of their life too. You don't give those people power over you by sitting there and trying to organize them and sort them out or sort out their baby mama situation or baby daddy. You don't sit there and stay with it. You keep a fucking move on, Libra. 5 of Hellfires, the Hierophant, and we also have 7 of Viking Horns. When we look at all of these cards, I think they all kind of have something in common, and it's about grief. It's about grief. It's settling mistakes of the past. It's being able to stomp on motherfuckers without having stomp on motherfuckers, be vulnerable without having those trust issues, without fully formulating like that you are a conscious. You shouldn't even have to really say though that you're a smart individual. Why are you? Oh, hold on. I'm gonna regroup, because what just came through for me like confused me initially, because I was like, what does the fuck does that mean? I think I've talked about this before with Libra. It's the praise kink shit. It's the praise kink shit. It's a people-pleasing disease. I say people-pleasing is a disease because it truthfully is. Because if you're not out to please yourself, then who the fuck are you trying to please? Because these people out here will take you for anything that you have. You will be sitting there giving them everything and they will be taking it. And that's just as simple as it is. They will just take from you. And that's just it. You will attract exactly what you're putting out. You're putting out desperate energy and you get desperate energy in return. And that's all that is. That's not love. That's not appreciation. That's not, like, you should not have to prove who you are to anyone. They should see that worth while they're communicating with you. You should not have to tell someone you're a catch if you're a fucking catch. You should not have to tell somebody that you're sexy, that you're sweet, that you're smart. You should just be able to interact with them and they're able to see that and feel that and receive that and treat you accordingly. You should not have to tell someone your worth. You are worth it. And so they will see your worth if they know their own worth as well. You know what I mean? Like, if y'all match up on different things that you want from life, if y'all love yourselves enough to be in a relationship together and to be loyal and genuine and honest with each other, then we don't have to prove anything to them. If they're that person that you're looking for, Libra, you're not going to have to prove that you are a loving, capable, kind, sexy, smart individual. You just are that. You just are that. Like, well, I'm a catch, so you don't even have to prove that shit. Nope. It's just a fact. And so you keep that fact not hidden from anybody. You're confident on that fact. You don't have to say a motherfucking thing. If they really like you and fuck with you and love you, they recognize that shit instantly. And then they immediately, if not immediately, start treating you accordingly. Okay, I feel like this is the kings and queens shit. Like, treat me as your queen, treat me as your king, or off with your head type behavior. That's why I said trust is like armor. Once it's pierced, you're dead to me. And that's how I think you need to feel moving forward. It's like, once the trust has been pierced, right? Once somebody lies to you once, don't sit around for a second and third time. Don't sit around to go around again and again and again. Okay? I don't care how long you know the motherfucker. The moment that they trigger you with their dishonesty, that's the moment you need to be reacting. You need to be right on top of that shit. So, you know, you're making me feel like there's something that you're hiding. You're making me feel this way and feel that way. And if someone tries to invalidate your feelings or shove you or make you feel like you're a piece of shit in some type of way, like I said, that's not a person you want to be with. A person who can't validate your feelings and be like, oh baby, I am going through something, but it's not what you're thinking. Like, I'm struggling right now, or I'm fighting financially, or I'm fighting. Like, if they can't come to you with the facts, then you don't want to be with that person at all. The first time that they motherfucking lie to your face, the first time, they've already destroyed the trust. The first time. So, Libra, that's what's up. Let's see what's coming in the future for you. You got to be stunting on these motherfuckers. That's why I got so tripped up. I was like, what are they talking about? Like, Libra, this is not Libra's attitude at all. This is not who you are. When I picked up on that vibe, that you were sitting there having to sell yourself, sell your soul, sell yourself, and be like, well, I am a catch. I am super sexy. I am super capable. I am this way. I am that way. They will see that. You don't have to prove a motherfucking thing. They will see that through your actions if you truly are that person. They will see that. That or they will reject it because they're not ready for you. They're not ready for someone as great as you, as good as you, as beautiful and smart and kind and sociable as you. They're not ready for you. They will never be ready for someone like you. Okay? It's just that simple. You know, you're like, I hate weak people. I can't stand, or a lot of people are like, I hate weak people. I can't stand weak people. But you're vulnerable. You're not weak. So you're vulnerable. You might cry. You might be emotional, but you're not weak. So that's a mistake in the first place. For somebody to say that to you, or somebody to sit there and reject it, that's a mistake. Because at the end of the day, you're not weak. You're not weak. You're just not. What's coming? What's coming for Libra? Okay, 3 of Viking horn. Okay. That's the same motherfucking card coming out to play again. Yeah, that same card, stagnancy. Okay. So, 3 of Viking horns, complications. As complications, is mind over body, is mind over matter. You're comfortable. You're comfortable and you circle back for certain situations that aren't built for you. You always make a circle back around to check in, or to even out of kindness. It's like you make up a scenario or a situation where you feel indebted to this individual, where you feel like you have to turn back around and like deal with their issues and deal with their problems, or talk to them again. But that's just not, no, absolutely not. You do not have to do that. That is not something you have to do. They should not be able to even come back around and contact you in the first place after the first time they disrespected you. So why are you sitting and listening and hearing them? Is it just to feel pain again, to remember what pain feels like? Because you shouldn't even have to do that moving on. The moment that you find, like I said, your person, pain will be in the past completely and entirely. You will never have to relive that experience ever again. You will never make that mistake again. If you know your real worth, if you really know who you are, you will never make a circle back around to a person who's put you into a state of mind where you begin disrespecting yourself and hurting yourself. Okay? Two of Skulls, and that's the proof of it right there, is this type of love is what you're wanting. This type of, like, where someone can reassure you and reciprocate feelings and be vulnerable with you while you be vulnerable with them. And y'all can love on each other and accept each other, okay, and feel motivated to do better. That is a relationship that you want to be in, okay? That is a connection that you're going to be in. So we have 8 of Skulls here and the Hangman. You are still in their head, in their mind space. You are going to be, your exes are always going to be chasing after you, because the moment that they get out of a relationship with you, they're not going to realize instantly what they lost. But once it catches up to them, once they go through a couple other bad relationships, they're going to realize how much of a catch you were, truly, like who you truly were. They're going to realize that, okay, Libra really had it going on. Libra was really that person for me. Like Libra, I slept on Libra. Like I allow Libra to slip through my motherfucking fingers. And for what? And they're going to come back with all these regrets and come back and start talking to you again and come back with all this stupid ass energy of like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you that way. Can we be friends? You don't want to be friends with these people. Stop becoming friends with your exes. They don't want you like that. You know what way they want you. They want to fuck you again. They want to fuck with your mind again. They want to fuck with your body again. They don't want you. I want to accept you. They might know who you are now, but that doesn't mean they still accept you. Okay? Like, you got to stop with that shit, circling back around. Like, people's on some demon time, manipulation tactics and shit, where they come back and they're like, I am so sorry, I did not mean to do that. It doesn't matter whether it was 3 days ago. It doesn't matter if y'all broke up 3 days ago. It doesn't matter if you broke up 1 day ago. If that person decided on their own, with their words, okay, and with their actions, to leave you, that you leave the fuck out of them. Leave them. They don't want you. They don't. Stop mixing up your feelings of pain and hurt and loneliness for another try around the merry-go-round. Because you don't need that. That is not what you need. That shit is unhealthy as fuck. 5 of Viking horses. Leave the situation alone. I know it hurts you. I know you feel lonely. You feel hurt. You feel disrespected. You feel abandoned. But there is no explanation that this person should need to make you feel that way. There's no justifications that they could bring up. There's no sorries or I'm so sorry, I apologize. There is nothing in this world that could make this person, your partner, like feel good to you. There's nothing in this world where this person could be your lover, to be the person that you can trust after they just broke it and shattered you. Nothing. Not as a friend, not as a partner. Stop keeping those people in your life, because you just holding on to the past. You holding on to a moment to where you weren't lonely for just that second, right? Just for that second, for that minute, where you weren't lonely anymore. You remember how much that person did for you when you were lonely. Stop. Because think about all the things that they did to you afterwards. After y'all got together, after y'all started seeing each other, after y'all started talking and communicating, think about how many times they shut you down and hurt you, truly hurt you. Think about how many times they profited off your pain, your sorrow. Think about that. Digest that for a moment. What else? What's good shit coming towards Libra? Page of Bibles. It starts out real slow. I will tell you that. The healing from this situation starts out real slow, because there's still parts of you that holds on to this idea that this person will choose you. But I want you to choose you. I need you to choose yourself. I need you to be fully comfortable by yourself. Stop seeking out a relationship and a connection with others that you need to have with yourself first and most and foremost. You need to trust yourself. You need to love yourself. Okay? You need to be your best friend, your own best friend. If you don't have one, you need to be your own. You are the person who could represent yourself. Okay? You already are all of those things that you've been trying and wanting to be. You already are the perfect wife, the perfect husband, the perfect person. You know, maybe not perfect. Perfect is probably the wrong word, but you are already there. You already have the capability of being that with the right person, having a family with the right person. You already are there. So now it's time to stop second guessing that shit. Now it's time to find someone who reciprocates. Now it's time to take a fucking step back and really think about your worth. Because this isn't it. These repetitive relationships, that's not it. Okay? They say if these walls could talk, they tell all your fucking business. Because straight up, spirit be telling all your business. I feel like spirit be telling you your business in your dreams. It's like, okay, how are you going to do yourself this dirty? Spirit constantly gives you reminders like, bitch, what are you doing? Like, what is this? What is this situation? Okay? If these walls could talk, they do talk to you. And you should listen. You should listen. All right, Libra, I appreciate you. Make sure you like. Make sure you comment. Make sure you turn on notifications. And I want to see y'all be better. Do better. Love on yourself. That's what you need to be doing.